Welcome to episode number 6 of Not My Scene. Yes, we've come back despite the fact that nobody wanted us to. We have done 5 of these already, Not My Scene, where we exchange songs. I give Matt a song from my sort of realm of music, music that I listen to. Matt gives me a song, music that he listens to, and then we review those songs, tell you what we thought after listening and delving into those particular songs. And so if you want to go back and check those, the ones we've already done out, you certainly should. Also, I should mention that the songs that we're talking about today, I'll put down in the description so that you can go listen to those songs yourself, either before or after you watch this video here. And anything else?
No.
No, he says no. So I guess we'll jump in and Matt, I'm gonna set you up first. I'm gonna tell you about the song that I have picked out for you. I picked out a song called "Jesus of Suburbia." Mm-hmm. It's by Green Day, which is one of my favorite bands. It's off the American Idiot album, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. It was pretty massive for me in my high school days. And "Jesus of Suburbia" is a long song. It is actually 5 very short songs back to back to back to back to back, and it is it's sort of a it's a dramatic telling of a story, if you will.
Yep.
And I quite enjoy that that sort of idea. And so I was curious, Matt, what did you think of Jesus of Suburbia?
Well, let's first of all start with the fact I've heard it before.
Yeah, it was a single by Green Day. It was the least popular of the singles that they put out off of American Idiot.
Yeah. The single wasn't the same as the long form. It was a little shorter. I think it was 6 minutes as a single, 9 minutes, depending on which.
Yeah, the radio version. You're right. The radio version probably was about 6 minutes.
Yeah.
The video that I gave you was 9 minutes, and there's actually an even longer version. It's about 12 minutes. But I helped you out and gave you just the 9 minute.
Okay. Now, first, like I said, it's familiar to me. It's not one I go to often by any means, but I knew it. American Idiot was obviously a massive album. It was kind of an old-fashioned concept album, like you should listen to it all sort of idea, that they have an idea they were going for, they had a concept, and they went after it. And so this song is long. You could call it a rhapsody. It's 9 minutes long, and lots of, as Taylor said, lots of combined parts that aren't necessarily musically similar all together. So I'm going to do musically with it. Musically, it's everything Green Day can do in one song. They're just like, here's what we do, throw it in there, and that's what they did. And yeah, it's the concept album song that kind of holds the whole thing together as a concept album, brings it there. So that's the music of it. It's everything Green Day can do. Is if you like Green Day, you like the music. Lyrically, I found myself really affected by this because I hadn't really paid attention to it before closely. I was saddened by it, in fact, because the lyrics are nihilistic. It's like, it's this meaninglessness of this punk suburban experience is the theme. And like, it feels like he's searching for meaning in different things and he's just not finding it. And the music video kind of adds to your experience of that. He doesn't find it from his girlfriend. He doesn't find it from his mom and all these different things, you know, all this idea of like finding it in the graffiti in the bathroom stalls isn't even there. It gets painted over. Like he's looking for it and he doesn't find it anywhere, and it's just kind of this hopelessness that he finds in his experience. And the one lyric that really, I don't know, it's just kind of a throwaway lyric in there, but I feel like Green Day would say was more powerful than those who throw it away. It was the Moms and Brads lyric. You know, it's just this idea that it was his home life that's driving him to search for more meaning in typical places. You know, he looks in religion, he looks in American culture, and he just finds it's lacking. Especially American culture, because it's American Idiot. That's the whole theme of the whole thing. And so he's just looking for this meaning. He can't find it in anything. Pleasures, nothing's working for him. And it feels like his broken home is like the source of his whatever dysfunction of what he's trying to look for. And so, I don't know, I just found myself going, like, it's kind of a sad lyrically. Like, there's just this hopelessness that you just can't figure it out, and there's nothing given, like, as a solution. It's just a description of what so many people feel. And so they hit it. on the head as far as a diagnosis. And but yeah, it's sad to me. There's this nihilism in it that I don't know. I was just more. I got done with it. I'm just like, gosh, this poor kid.
Yeah, it's one of those things that probably was meant to be like people could relate to it, right? As opposed to maybe like an answer necessarily to the problems. But
maybe it's because I'm watching it as a grown man.
Yeah,
I just like this poor kid. Maybe it's because I'm a foster parent and I like see these people, and I've got a teen right now, and I see this.
Yeah.
You know, buying stuff isn't filling this hole, whatever it is, and probably because I'm a religious person, I feel it. Like I just want to help the guy find. And so I don't know. It's a powerful punk song, which isn't always powerful emotionally to me, at least. Punk song is really good at describing just kind of like the whole American Idiot idea was just like American Dream. What? Is what they're feeling in that, and obviously it's set in the backdrop of 9/11 and the war in Iraq, all these things that they deal with more explicitly in other parts of it. But I found it as a great middle song of the album. It's not one I like, but I think it's a great song, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So
yeah, absolutely. And it, as some of you will know, there was a Broadway musical, American Idiot, and this was sort of when Billy Joe Armstrong was thinking about, or when he was coming up sort of with this idea. This was kind of like the basis, like the starting part. This particular story that eventually, of course, evolved into the Broadway musical.
Yeah. Well, I've not seen it, but maybe.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that we picked these songs for each other, because I went with a Christmas song, and it's one I love because of the story. And it's the author of the poem "I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day." It's in the middle of Civil War. His wife had died in some traumatic letter writing accident. True story. Burned herself alive. He couldn't attend her funeral.
You don't hear that very often these days.
No, a dramatic letter writing accident is not something you say often. But he was so burned, he couldn't attend her funeral. Then his son joins the military, gets shot, and it's 1863. And so in all these reasons to feel exactly what the kid in your song feels, he finds hope, which is why I like it. And I like the way Casting Crowns is the band who does this. They do it different than the traditional one. The traditional one, I think, musically sucks. And this is more interesting musically. So
okay, so that's very interesting. Very interesting setup for me. Then I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day is the song by Casting Crowns, and I didn't. I'll straight up right off the top, I don't like this song. I don't like it. I don't know that you like this Casting Crowns version. I didn't find anything it didn't stand out to me in any way, and it just was boring, and I didn't like it. But what I do like is the story of that you sort of told a little bit there, but you also provided me a little bit more information. That's very interesting.
Yeah,
that's
the
very
lyrics
intriguing.
are far better than the music.
Yeah,
this is just the best music of a great lyric song, because I find every version of the song is underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think this probably works best as a poem as opposed to a song, in my opinion. I think if you just read it out as a poem, that kind of makes some sense. It's just not, for me, very good as a song. It's not smooth. It doesn't seem to flow well. And it's not just Casting Crowns' version that I didn't like, as you mentioned, just about every other. Because I went and looking for
Johnny
other versions.
Cash, there's all sorts of them
and none of them were particularly good. I didn't enjoy many of them. I didn't enjoy any of them, to be quite honest with you. But I think I guess the point that I will go back to is the story is behind it is pretty crazy, first and foremost, and it is also. I mean, it's got. I mean, it would be a story that would be helpful for somebody who's in. I mean, just a terribly tragic situation. To sort of seek out that hope, at somewhere in the future, and look for maybe those blessings, maybe in places where maybe you wouldn't even expect them. So I think maybe the story behind it, I think the lyrics, it as a poem as opposed to it being a song, I think is good, and is interesting. But the song itself, it just it's not a very good song. That's, I guess,
Yeah.
and that's my opinion. And maybe you listen to it and you think that it is. Casting Crowns, for me, again, this is just my opinion. To them as a band, by the way, I think struggled to stand out for me as well. For some other things by them, not a lot, but some other things by them.
I've been to the concert. Your mom loves them.
Yeah, and actually, the story of Casting Crowns is pretty interesting. But musically, they don't stand
They're an
out.
interesting group because I'm a youth leader in my church, and I was like, told my wife, like, they're youth pastors. I was like, they're just putting together all their youth units and then they make an album based on it, and that's actually what they said they do. So it's obviously, as a Christian band, lyrics are far beyond the music, but they kind of blah musically to me. But these lyrics are just, and it's just funny because your song, my song, both people in crappy situations.
Yeah, that's true.
And one's like, and life sucks, and one's like, well, but eventually things are going to get better.
Yeah.
And that's like the two different reactions to the same sort of deal. In fact, my guy and the song that I picked for you has a lot worse actual situation.
Yeah.
Probably, at least easier to tell worse situation. But it's just interesting. We didn't mean to do this.
No, we certainly did not plan that out, not at all. The one other thing that I would say about this is, I would not discourage you from going out and checking this song out. If maybe the place that I would actually send you at least before you do that is to a video that you actually made.
Yeah.
Talking about the story itself, because I think knowing that story, it lifts the song just a little bit. So I think it's pretty important.
I used to not care about the song at all, and then I looked into like what this is written in 1863. What a weird. And I looked into it. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And so the story heightens it for me, and so I am biased based on knowing the history of the song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredibly biased by it.
Yeah. And now I've done. I didn't set out to do this, and I haven't meant to do this in every video. But in just about every video, I've compared the songs that you've given me thus far, putting this one at the bottom. I'll be honest.
This one's not at the bottom. It's a good song, but it's one again. Just because the theme of it, I don't like the theme of it.
Yeah.
But like I get it. It's well done in what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, and plus it's 9 minutes. Like, how often am I going to listen to a 9-minute song?
Yeah.
Like, I like American Pie. How often do I listen to it?
Yeah.
Not often.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, because the music, a lot of the music that I listen to, in fact, a lot of Green Day music is like 3 minutes long, right? Like, they're short bursts of loud music most of the time. But, I mean, they're just the dramatics of this particular the particular song. You don't find that certainly in punk music. You don't have this music that has different movements and such.
And if I wanted a song like that, I'm going Scenes in an Italian Restaurant, Billy Joel, long before like a bunch of songs that'll make sense together, shoved together.
There are certain others, but for me, like this is a massive song because it is those long songs that have the dramatics and whatever else to it, but also
in that
punk
genre.
Music, right? Like a little bit outside of the popular realm. Although Green Day are the ones that sort of brought punk into the popular realm, but it's that type of music, but also with all this, a little bit longer, a little bit more dramaticness to it, if you will. It's actually the second longest song on that album. There's another longer song that is the same sort of situation where it's some shorter ones, some shorter songs sort of stacked together. But yeah, anyway.
There you go. We decided to make a really long video because of a really long
That's
song.
right, that's right. Before we go, any clues, I guess, into what song you've got up next for me?
I didn't know if I was going to do this. I'll do another Christmas. I mean, it's going to be on the 22nd. I'll do one more Christmas song for you.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see, I mentioned this on air on Y99.3 on the Breakfast Club.
Never heard
it. That I don't like Christmas songs.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try and find you a Christmas song that I like. And that's what I'll give to you for next week.
And if you give me 12 Days of Christmas or Santa Baby, I'm killing you.
We're going to give you a medley of the two.
And then if you die sometime between this and the next video, I'm
we'll know what happened, yeah. All right, there you go. That is episode 6 of Not My Scene. Thanks for watching. Go back and watch all the others. We'll see you next week. You want to say bye?
Bye.